For several decades, he was considered the greatest third baseman in baseball. He spent his entire career with the Pittsburgh Pirates and led them to a World Series title. This is the story of Pie Traynor, a Pirates legend who redefined defense at baseball's hot corner and was the first ever third baseman inducted into the Hall of Fame. Harold Joseph Traynor was born on November 11, 1898 in Framingham, Massachusetts. He got his nickname from his childhood. As a boy, a friend whose family owned a corner store would ask him what he wanted. Traynor would always answer that he wanted a slice of pie. Soon, his friends called him Pie-Faced, later shortened to just Pie. Traynor was the second among 7 kids, and he needed to supplement the family income. So even before his teens, Traynor worked after school in a local office as a messenger. He began his professional career as a shortstop for the Portsmouth Truckers of the Virginia League. Later that year, he made his debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates, appearing in 17 games. He batted .212 and had a WAR of -0.5. He spent most of the following season in the minors with the Birmingham Barons. In the majors, he batted .263 in 7 games and finished with a -0.1 WAR. At that point in his career, Traynor was still a shortstop. Unfortunately for him, the Pirates already had a very good one, future Hall of Famer Rabbit Marinville. There was no way a rookie with a shaky glove could replace an established veteran who has won a World Series. Still, he had a potent bat, and the Pirates moved him to the hot corner of the diamond where he'd stay the rest of his career. In 1922, he finally became a full-time player as he appeared in 142 games. He batted .282 with 4 home runs and 81 RBIs. However, he finished the season once more with a negative WAR as he had a -0.4 WAR. While he had a somewhat potent bat, he was a defensive liability. 1923 was a turning point in his career as both his offense and defense rose to new levels. Legendary second baseman Rogers Hornsby advised him to use a heavier bat. The result was his first good season in the majors in 1923. He batted .338 with 12 home runs and 101 RBIs, and a league-leading 19 triples. He also stole 28 bases and had 208 hits, to go with 108 runs scored. He was still not the defensive wizard that he became known for, but that changed when teammate Marinville tutored him in defense. 1923 was the first season in which he showed his brilliance with the glove. He led the league for the first time in putouts, assists, and range factor per 9 innings. In 1925, he was 8th in the MVP voting as he batted .320 with 39 doubles, 17 triples, 6 home runs, and 106 RBIs. Once more, he was a dominant defensive presence as he led the league in putouts, assists, and range factor per 9 innings. He also helped lead the Pirates to the 1925 NL pennant and faced the Washington Senators. In Game 1, he hit a home run off legend Walter Johnson. Overall, Traynor batted .346 with 2 triples, 1 home run, and 4 RBIs to lead the Pirates to victory in 7 games. It was Pittsburgh's first World Series win in the post-Honus Wagner era. 1926 marked the debut of one of the greatest Pirates players of all time, Paul Waner. This reinforced the expectation that the Pirates would win back-to-back titles. After all, the core of the defending World Series champs remained intact. Unfortunately, the team imploded with controversy as team owner Barney Dreyfuss appointed Pirates legend Fred Clark to the bench. Clark proceeded to undermine manager Bill McKechnie. When the players complained, Dreyfuss shipped the more vocal ones, including veteran pitcher Babe Adams. The Pirates won another pennant in 1927. Traynor batted .342 with 32 doubles, 9 triples, 5 home runs, and 106 RBIs. He also placed 7th in the MVP voting. But unlike the 1925 series, this was a no contest as they faced one of the greatest teams in baseball history, the 1927 New York Yankees, also known as Murderers Row. The Yankees swept the Pirates as Traynor batted an anemic .200 with 0 home runs and 0 RBIs. In 1930, he hit a career high of .366 to go with 9 home runs with 119 RBIs. In 1931, after 6 consecutive years of batting at least .317, Traynor's average fell to .298. The main reason was the National League's decision to deaden the ball. The ball received a new cushioned cork center while the seams were made larger. There was thicker threading, and the cover was slightly thicker too. This reduced the offensive explosion in the National League. Traynor's power stats, which were already low because of the pitching-friendly and cavernous Forbes field, became almost non-existent. He would hit no more than 2 home runs in a season in his remaining playing years. The American League, however, still continued to use the old, livelier ball. Despite the ball's effect on his hitting, Traynor welcomed the change as he believed that hitters had too much of an advantage against pitchers, making the game less exciting. Traynor was an all-star in both 1933 and 1934, the first 2 years that baseball had an all-star game. In 1934, he hit .309 with 1 home run and 61 RBIs. Worse, his defense declined as he suffered an injury to his throwing arm. That June, however, he assumed a new role as he became the team's player manager and full-time manager next season. Except for 12 at-bats in 1937, he had effectively retired as a player. Traynor retired with a 38.7 WAR. He batted .320 with 371 doubles, 164 triples, 58 home runs, 1,183 runs, and 1,273 RBIs. He was a dominant defensive third baseman. He topped the league in the following categories: assists and range factor per 9 innings, 3 times. Double plays, 4 times. Putouts, 7 times. However, he led all third basemen in errors 5 times. He also set career records among third basemen for double plays, games, putouts, and assists. Eddie Matthews and Brooks Robinson eventually broke these records. Traynor continued to manage the Pirates until 1939. He almost led the Pirates to another pennant in 1938 as Pittsburgh led for most of the season, but eventually finished 2 games behind the Cubs. After resigning as manager, he remained with the Pirates as a scout before joining the radio. He was a broadcaster for 21 years. In 1969, as part of the observance of the centennial of professional baseball, Traynor was named the third baseman in the all-time team. In 1999, Sporting News ranked him 70th in its list of the 100 greatest baseball players. Traynor is still considered the greatest third baseman before 1950. Nowadays, however, it seems Traynor's legacy has diminished when compared to players such as Matthews, Robinson, and Mike Schmidt. There are several reasons for this. Lack of power. His 58 career home runs are low even for his era. He played in a small market. Pittsburgh, despite its loyal fanbase, is not the biggest market in the majors. Shifting standards in the third base position. During his time, he combined a high average with excellent fielding, but hit only a few home runs. Today, the game expects more power from the position. Still, Traynor is among the greatest ever and revolutionized the position. In 1948, he became the first ever third baseman inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Traynor died on March 16, 1972. He was 73. Thank you for watching. Why do you think Traynor's name is rarely mentioned nowadays when discussing the greatest third baseman of all time? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. It helps a lot.